But now it's time to focus on the main campus and really updating some of the infrastructure that has been supporting us for a long time.
Welcome to Roswell Brew Talks. I'm Steve Stroud. I'm Executive Director of Roswell, Inc., the economic development organization in the city of Roswell.
I'm Andy Williams, Executive Director of Visit Roswell, the official destination marketing organization for the city of Roswell, and excited again to have another amazing guest, Ms. Natasha Rice from the Chattahoochee Nature Center. A shameless plug, an incredible board member for us here at Roswell Economic
Absolutely.
Development and Tourism.
Thumbs up.
Absolutely. So we're excited to have you. And we're going to jump right in and get into the nitty gritty of the Chattahoochee Nature Center because basically, I mean, it's one of our shining star attractions, not only here in Roswell, but honestly in the North Fulton region and really the greater Metro Atlanta area. And, I come in contact with a lot of different individuals on a daily basis who have fallen in love with the Chattahoochee Nature Center, whether it's just attending to visit, walking the boardwalk,
Camp,
maybe they're, kids
Camp
that
Kingfisher.
exactly. And then I meet people that, say they've lived here for a while that have never been. And so we want to get the word out. And this is the purpose of us doing this, to learn as much as we can about CNC and to chat about all things going on. So quickly, can you just give us the rundown on the formation of the Nature Center and kind of how that came to be?
So the Chattahoochee Nature Center was formed by local citizens to Roswell in 1976. So we're actually coming up on 50 years in a couple
Wow.
of years, which is crazy. But there was a movement. John Ripley Forbes was very involved in, getting folks to appreciate the nature in their backyard. We are so fortunate that they did that because it preserved that area and we're able to have 127 acres in a very developed, area right on the riverfront. So we feel fortunate that we can share it with so many people every year.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And we know that you bring visitors of all ages. I'm got products in my daughters that went through Camp Kingfisher, and that was a big deal for those girls. And so you start them out young and you get them coming through at all ages.
We like to say we have something for people 2 to 90, and frankly, we have people over 90 there too,
Yeah.
and under too. But, we really have programming that targets all of those different demographics, and it works in a way that we have multi-generational family all the time on campus, something for everyone. So it's fantastic.
Well, that's a great lead into the next question. You really do have something for everyone. So my question would be, talk about the campus and what that looks like, what the layout is, and the different types of things that are actually offered on property.
Well, once again, we're 127 acres. The majority of our activity is outside. So we have 6 trails, 4 ponds. We have river access, which we are able to take people down in canoes. We also have a partnership with REI. So if you prefer a kayak, we have kayaks as well. On the property itself, we have a museum, so that's great for, just the early learners as well as those that want to reinforce their knowledge of the Chattahoochee watershed, the importance of the river, and how it feeds into the greater metropolitan area. 70% of your water that you drink comes from the Chattahoochee, and not
Yeah.
everybody realizes that. So it's really important to demonstrate it and, to make sure that that's something that people are excited about and engaged with,
Mhm.
as they leave.
And that's clearly the being on a river is a huge asset for the Nature Center.
There's no question. We are really the only interpretive center on the Chattahoochee River. So we see 144,000 people every year.
144,000.
That's
Mhm.
right. And we love the Roswell Boardwalk because we feel like your boardwalk has really given us some heightened exposure for people that may not have come before. We have our boardwalk that, is kind of the meditative, a little bit more of the restorative. We have people that come and paint, they come on and, do photography, bird watch, whereas yours is the very active
Mhm.
boardwalk. So we see the people running and walking their dogs and, all of those things are just so wonderful for recreation, but also for restoring the community.
Yeah, sure.
Y'all have a lot of animals too.
We sure do.
Talk to me about that because there wasn't too long ago that a little squirrel got hit in our neighborhood, and when I had little ones, and we had to call the nature center because the nature center was going to get us on the right track on that little squirrel.
Well, and I think that that is the, kind of interesting thing. We take probably about 3,000 calls a year for animals of all kinds. And with a squirrel, we wouldn't be able to help you
Right.
because we don't rehab squirrels, but we'd be able to get you the resources to connect you with people in the state of Georgia that could help you. We take in 800 animals a year in rehab cases,
Oh,
raptors, reptiles, snakes. We have all kinds of things coming in our doors. The majority of our animals, we are actually able to get out into the public, and return them to nature. The whole idea for us is that they're going to be healed up, restored, and they can go back to where they came from. We get the coordinates, we put them back in a nest, we make sure that they go back to that part of town that's important for them to be in. But we do have some animals on campus. So there are animals that aren't able to be released to the wild, and so they stay with us as teaching ambassadors.
Wow.
amazing.
Well, and that's a good question too. You have a lot of volunteers out there. We know that, but you also obviously have skilled workers, employees
Yeah.
who are talented, educated, degreed, and a decent amount of them. So, can you just kind of shed some light on where you attract talent and who makes up the actual staff base of the Chattahoochee Nature Center?
That's a really good question. I mean, we really do have an unbelievable tenure, for a nonprofit. We have people that have been with us. I think probably our most seasoned staff member is coming on close to 40 years. And a lot of them start out as volunteers. They are there in the Unity Garden. They're doing things on our property. They're working with animals. And so, although just about all of them have the education that takes them to that, job and that position, they don't necessarily start as the director of wildlife.
Right.
Our director of wildlife has been there 25 plus years, and she started out with us as a naturalist and kind of moved through the ranks and ended up in the wildlife area. So
Mhm.
it's a fascinating group of people.
Yeah,
There's no
yeah, it is.
question.
Well, one thing again, I brought up Camp Kingfisher, and we're going into the summer season, so obviously that's a big piece. But you also do the butterflies,
That's right.
and
Mhm.
again, girls. It could be boys. I'm not just saying, but at the end of the day,
That's a
the
memory
butterfly,
you have with your family, right?
right? So
It's
these are all
nostalgia.
good memories that
Mhm,
are still going,
mhm.
and Andy's in that mode right now with little
Mhm.
ones. So tell that's coming up,
Yeah, we've been to
right?
the butterfly counter many times.
Yeah,
Yep.
right.
So our butterfly festival is June 1st and 2nd,
Ah,
and we will have the encounter open all through the summer months into the middle of August. But the festival is something special,
yeah.
and we in the course of the summer months see about 25,000 people in the encounter alone. So it's a very beneficial thing for our organization in terms of getting folks on campus, but it also gives a lot of education to those who kind of come through it, learn a lot. There's people who are there every day, and once again, those are the people that are photographers and they're painting and, they're
So
just
cool.
naturalists at heart.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, you'll see something different on each of your visits.
So with the Butterfly Festival and the encounter, those are, a couple of different things, but you guys have a jam-packed calendar of programming
We
really throughout the
do.
year. So not to put you on the spot, and I don't expect you to
Yeah,
name
no,
everyone, but
no.
what are some of those key highlights that maybe listeners and viewers may not know about that you'd love to kind of get the word out?
So June 15th is our possum trot. That's our
Oh,
10K.
Mhm.
A lot of people do that in preparation for the Peachtree Road Race
Yeah.
because it's,
warm up. Yeah.
and I mean, it's so beautiful. You're running at sunrise along the river. I mean, what could be better?
Right.
It really is breathtaking. So that's coming up June 15th. We also have Harvest on the Hooch coming back. I don't know if you guys have memories
I
of that,
do. I actually do.
but it was one of our very big popular things that has not come back since COVID. And that was honestly, canceled because of all the restaurants having so much stress and craziness longer than we would have liked. We had really
Shortage of
wanted
staff, etc.
exactly.
Yeah,
They
I
just
remember.
couldn't
Yep.
commit to additional festivals and things because they were having enough trouble staffing their,
Yeah.
day to
Normal,
day.
day.
Yep,
Yeah.
their normal schedules. So we'll be bringing that back in the fall, and that is a wonderful event that really supports our Unity Garden.
Okay.
So the proceeds of that go to support the Unity Garden. If you have not been, it's worth visiting. It's a 1/4 acre that we actually have 10,000 pounds of produce a year. That all goes to North Fulton Community Charities,
Great. Yeah.
the food pantry. So wonderful partners. We are not in the area of being able to distribute.
Mhm.
So we grow with the help of volunteers, and we put it on a good partner to make sure
Yeah.
it gets out to about 300 families a year.
Wow.
So
Well, as a board member at North Fulton Community Charities, thank you. Because honestly, what the charities do for this community, and not just Roswell, all of North Fulton, that's just an added bonus because many of these families would never see a fresh anything, let alone what's coming out of the gardens at the Nature Center. So thank you. It's
well,
awesome.
we take great pride in being able to produce a lot of poundage, but a huge variety.
Yeah.
And having that seasonal variety along with the staples that are already,
Sure.
donated through other resources. It just makes a meal complete, So we really like being
Well,
able to
and
be
keeping in the
involved.
theme of partnerships, we know, camps during the summer are hot and heavy, but really spring, fall, and even in the winter, you pull up into the parking lot, you're going to see motor coaches of school groups. And I know you guys do a great job with all the Fulton County schools and also regionally with a lot of the other public schools, private schools. What is that sheer amount of visitation from student youth groups, you would say?
So we have probably about um, 44,000 students annually, somewhere between 44
Wow.
and 50. And they're coming from all over the metro area. So, we'll have folks coming from Stockbridge and Clayton County. We have folks coming from Cherokee, Carrollton. I mean, so it really is probably 13 to 15 metro counties, 300 schools that we're seeing kids from. We see all of the second graders from Fulton County right now, so that's about 7,000 students. And we see all of the first graders from Atlanta Public Schools,
Wow.
so that's over 3,000 students annually.
That's great.
And the nice part about those programs is it allows us to take the school learning and just continue it into nature. So, it really does give us an opportunity to capitalize on things they're already learning in the classroom and just bring it outside.
100%.
Makes it more memorable and more meaningful, hopefully.
Absolutely.
So,
Well, you're doing great things. Keep it up. That's so important because passing on the torch, right, generationally is so important for these memories of not just the kids, but us as parents, right? So you're a great asset to
Well,
our
and a
community.
big part of that strategic growth too. And I want to make sure we hit on the capital campaign
Yeah.
because that it's something that continues, and you guys have already done great work with that. What is the vision for what the future of the Chattahoochee Nature Center looks like over the course of these next few years?
So I really appreciate you, kind of asking that question. Obviously, the Bridge and Boardwalk, as we said, that's been a huge draw to the area, but, certainly to the center. But now it's time to focus on the main campus and really updating some of the infrastructure that has been supporting us for a long time. There's a building on campus that was built in 1965 as a airplane hangar, and it got converted into a horse barn for a little while. I mean, it's been many lives. Right now, it's somewhat gymnasium-like. It holds around 300 people. We'd like to improve that, update it, and expand it. So we really could convene larger groups, in education, but, other areas, whether it's corporate or, places that tie into our camp programs
Right.
in the community. So we've had wait lists in camp since I've been on this position, and this would single-handedly eliminate a lot of our wait lists.
Oh, wow.
Well, and
Yeah.
you mentioned something that's really important. I don't know how many corporate retreats I've been on your facility, on your property, and I think that's an added asset for you guys and for all of the businesses in North Fulton to be able to know that they can have a meeting, a gathering, a social event for their company. You guys do a great job with that. You got great facilities for that, and you're set up for it. So that's a bonus.
Well, but we would like to have a little bit more shelter from the storm, and
Yes,
that's
that
you know
is
the
always,
difference.
yep.
I think that our outdoor pavilion has proven that we are able to
do it.
host and really enjoy having folks on campus. And the thing that's great about that, we bring people for all different reasons together on our campus, and they come back for other reasons.
That's
So
right.
Right.
It's a good thing.
it's a neat opportunity for
Yeah.
us. for
All works
sure.
together.
Exactly. No question about that.
Well, this has been fantastic, and I'll give you the opportunity, for our viewers and our listeners. Anything else you want to plug on behalf of CNC?
Honestly, I feel like we've covered a huge amount of the topics. We are getting so excited about summer camp. It's really just a month away. We have a little bit of space left, but not really. We've done a huge amount of hiring. This is, the first summer since I've been on board that it's been really exciting to see that most of our camp staff has been hired and is ready to go. So if there's any kids out there that still need a place to go, we'd love to see them this summer at the Chattahoochee Nature Center.
That's awesome. Well, we always wind it down with this. It's always a great day to do business in Roswell. It's always a great day to do business with folks like yourself and the Chattahoochee Nature Center. And thank you
Oh
for
yeah.
our mug. Cheers.
Yeah.
Cheers. Thanks, Natasha. Appreciate
See
you.
ya.
Thank you guys.